Carl Edwards is back in a race suit. Cletus McFarland announces another NASCAR ARCA start, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is getting sued by an NFL superstar. Welcome back to the Breaking Bob channel. We got a weird video today, just absolutely out of left field. But if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Always talking NASCAR and racing on a daily basis. My coverage of Rick Ware Racing getting sued by Legacy Motor Club is on the channel if you missed that. The lawyers are just all over the NASCAR world. And, well, we've got another one today, but before we get into that, we've got some more traditional news we should touch on first. It was announced today that Connor Zilisch, the young trackhouse racing phenom, will be making his second NASCAR Cup Series start in the 2025 season. The 18-year-old prodigy will be returning to the Cup Series in the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the season, on Memorial Day weekend next month in May. Connor Zilisch will be donning trackhouse in a fourth entry. Sounds like there may be a lot of cars in the field, a lot of open entries. We might even see somebody go home in qualifying. Could you imagine? Jimmy Johnson, BJ McLeod, Connor Zilisch, look maybe for Tricon to enter a car. There's going to be a lot of entries for the Coke 600, and that's how it should be. It's a crown jewel race. Excited to see how Connor Zilisch does. Throwing the young kid into a marathon of a race, but if anyone can handle it, it's him. And the Coke 600 in May will be the first race that Amazon will be covering for their NASCAR contract, this 7-year contract that Amazon has 5 races in the summer stream. Carl Edwards will be there covering it as a broadcaster. That's a segue. Well done, everyone. Pat on the back. Pat on the back. Anyway, no, Carl Edwards will be there at the Coke 600, but Carl Edwards, everyone's been wondering, he's just been coming out of the weeds lately. He's in the NASCAR world. Can we ever see him racing again? He was in a race suit this week. Carl Edwards was over at Flat Rock Motor Club over in Tennessee, just outside Knoxville, about an hour west. And he was out there with Trevor Bayne, just doing a few laps in a Porsche racing car, mostly in a passenger seat, although he did run a few laps. And look at him in that NASCAR Cup Series tracksuit. Just looks right. Cousin Carl slowly coming back into the NASCAR world. Now he's going to be a broadcaster with Amazon. I'm very, very excited to see what he brings as far as his just extreme knowledge of the sport, his experience. And we did see him even in a Cup Series car in a garage at Rick Ware Racing. Corey LaJoie sending out this tweet, just fueling the fire with Carl Edwards, not helping by any case, but good to see Carl Edwards at least enjoying himself and getting back into NASCAR, which is where he belongs. I did mention Corey LaJoie, and he's not racing, of course, Cup Series full-time this year, but he will be running the Freedom 500 down in Florida at Cletus McFarland's Freedom Factory. He had Cletus McFarland on his Stacking Pennies podcast this week, and of course, Cletus with his Daytona ARCA entry made waves in the NASCAR world, of course, on social media. If you don't know who he is, you did after that. And of course, with his massive following, everyone was looking to his next race. It was announced he'll be at Talladega this month at the ARCA race. But he announced it on Stacking Pennies this week that he will be running the Bristol Fall race for the ARCA series for Rhett Jones Racing in the number 30, presumably. You can just tell Cletus loves racing. He's got a passion for it. No matter what series, no matter what form, whether it's Crown Vics, doesn't matter. But of course, he does have a relationship with Bristol Motor Speedway. He's held numerous events over the last few years on the dirt, on concrete, but now he'll be in a sanctioned ARCA event. So excited to see that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Cletus McFarland returning for a third ARCA entry, this time at Bristol, the Great Coliseum. Wow. And finally, our main story of the day. I teased in the intro. It doesn't even sound real. It sounds like a Mad Lib, but NASCAR Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr. is getting sued by NFL superstar quarterback Lamar Jackson. Well, yeah, this is real. Lamar Jackson is suing Dale Earnhardt Jr. for a trademark infringement after Dale Earnhardt Jr. is trying to get, of course, the rights to that iconic number 8 after Teresa gave it up. Teresa Earnhardt, Dale's stepmom, gave it up after years, decades of holding on to that IP. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finally got the 8. He's finally seeing it on the branding for Junior Motorsports with Sammy Smith in that beat-up car this week, of course. But Lamar Jackson has filed a lawsuit. Gerben IP was originally the one that put out this news story that just has the actual lawsuit of Lamar Jackson trying to block a trademark of Dale Jr. getting that iconic number 8 that Teresa Earnhardt gave up last year after decades of fans trying to get Dale Earnhardt Jr. that 8. Teresa finally gave it up, and now Lamar Jackson is trying to block it. Jackson says that the 8 trademark is way too close to his Era 8 branding, and I don't know if you can make that case, but Lamar Jackson is trying to do that in a court of law. And in the filing, Lamar contends that there's 3 reasons. He is widely associated with the number 8 due to his prominence in the NFL and the branding of his merchandise. 2, Dale Jr.'s registration could falsely imply a connection between the 2 athletes and infringe on his established rights. And 3, purchasers and prospective purchasers are likely to mistakenly believe the products between Earnhardt Jr. offers are related to the products and services provided by Lamar Jackson. Because yes, when I see a Bud 8 shirt or I see a Ravens purple 8 jersey, I think of Dale Jr. and Lamar Jackson as one of the same. No, what are you doing, Lamar? This is just, oh my goodness, this is a wild one. It's a stretch. It's definitely a stretch. I'm no lawyer. Maybe he's got a case, but to say that this Lamar Jackson's Era 8 brand is way too close to Dale Jr.'s and this is this trademark infringement, I don't think he's got a case. I'm very interested to see because Lamar Jackson also last year is suing Troy Aikman. This is an active lawsuit for Troy Aikman after having an 8 trademarking branding logo. So I guess Lamar Jackson's trying to be the new Teresa Earnhardt and just completely dominate the 8 trademarks. But I don't know if his case is valid or not. It sounds like if this would be on time, it would be a court scheduling of mid-2026. But usually, apparently, these things settle out of court. I don't have a law degree. All this is way over my head. But it seems like NASCAR fans are slowly getting our own law practice, it seems like. Just the way between NASCAR versus 2311 and Front Row. You've got now Rickware Racing versus Legacy Motor Club, and apparently Dale Jr. versus Lamar Jackson is the main event for sports fans. Now we're combining 2 of the biggest names in sports with Lamar Jackson, a current 2-time NFL quarterback MVP, and Dale Jr., one of the biggest names in racing still to this day, even retired as a broadcaster. So wild story. Very interested to see what comes of this, but let me know your thoughts down below. Lamar Jackson suing Dale Jr. over the number 8 trademark infringement. Plus, Cletus McFarland will be returning to the ARCA Menards series for a 3rd time in Bristol this September. If you like what you saw, make sure to like this video. It helps me out a ton here at Breaking Bob. As always, make sure to subscribe for more NASCAR and motorsports content. And I'll see you as this weekend, it's Darlington weekend. Throwback paint schemes for most of the field. Excited to see what we get from the Lady in Black. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.